Good evening. I'm Chris Caldwell, librarian for English, Theater, and the Humanities Center. I offer research consultations, instruction, and maintain collections. I also use as many opportunities as possible to introduce researchers to the nuanced worlds of print culture. Here I am in our Special Collections Department at Hodges Library with some of our treasures. One collection of particular interest is the Naseeb Shaheen Antiquarian Bible Collection. The late University of Memphis Shakespeare scholar researched biblical allusions in the Bard's plays by collecting Bibles contemporary to Shakespeare. In 2012, UT acquired Shaheen's research materials in rare books. Most of the 221 volumes I'm focusing on this evening are Bibles, with a few other genres dating back to the 16th century. Along with my research partner, Chris Bronstad, our modern political archivist, we decided to look for evidence of how people have interacted with these books through the ages. We investigated marginalia and ownership marks accrued by these rare materials. Marginalia is anything written or printed in the margins of books or manuscripts. Ownership marks give us an idea of who might have owned these books and help us to establish provenance. Outside of our scope were potential marks from the printing process or evidence of erasures. We spent several months visiting the vaults, looking closely at every page in the collection, every page. We used book supports to protect fragile bindings. iPads allowed us to easily capture evidence of ownership and readership, and we used spreadsheets to keep track of our findings to facilitate easy reference to items of interest. All of these books contain Shaheen's bookplate and the UT Special Collection stamp. The four main types of marks we identified are ownership marks, scholarly or reverential marks, marks seemingly unrelated to the text, and family histories. Many books, of course, had multiple types of marks. Perhaps unsurprisingly, only Bibles contained family histories. Added content appears in different eras and in different ways. Glosses were sometimes added to the margins by editors and typesetters to guide textual interpretation. Reader-added marks are handwritten notes of various types, and modern marks are mostly those of 20th century booksellers, collectors, and libraries. This decidedly old-school ownership mark in a play from 1678 is of Robert Long from Norfolk, dated 1710, or 1701. Whichever, 1710, sorry. Further below is the mark of Mary Potts. We don't know about the relationship between the two, if any. The convention of incorporating names into the layout of the title page was fairly common in the books we inspected. In 1801, Thomas Carter left a bold mark in this edition, known as the Bishop's Bible, also visible or pasted in booksellers' descriptions of other copies of the same book. And below is a chatty description of the book's engravings, all resulting in a kind of scrapbook. Modern marks include Shaheen's plates, which are notable for robust information about provenance and artifactual value, including the date and the location of purchase, as well as price conversion, and Shaheen's own cataloging number. Shaheen was careful to keep the ownership marks of previous owners intact, a courtesy not always found in handed-down books. Family histories are another popular use for Bibles. This 1588 Bible contains 18th century records of 3 births, a death by drowning, and the start of an apprenticeship. Also seen are a Latin epigraph and a penciled-in UT catalog number in the upper left-hand corner. Reverential and scholarly writing. A lovely image from our library's marketing team. In this 1581 Geneva Bible, blank pages have been bound into the book after printing for written commentary, prayer schedules, and so on. Also visible is typeset marginalia, added by editors to promote a correct interpretation of the text. Here, a careful reader of Paradise Lost has created her own index to aid in rapid return to key passages. We see repeated evidence of readers hacking books to maximize use when printing conventions have fallen short of readers' needs. The marks in this collection run the gamut, from meticulously transcribed text from missing printed pages on the left to the mysterious world of scribbles, pen tests, doodles, and assorted stains. Is it ink, wine, blood? Perhaps Dr. Bass can help. There are several opportunities for biblioforensics, it seems. Now on to the 20th century. Numerous modern marks are present in this 1563 book of homilies. Glued into the book is a 1920s note indicating that, quote, probably 19 leaves missing. Collations like this are often added by booksellers and collectors to verify the completeness of the copy. So what's to be done with all these scribbles in old books? Scholars Sherman and Jackson have written extensively about the research value of this understudied area. Rather than keeping these traces of readership buried away like this long dead night in a 1549 religious text, we at UT Libraries have been working hard to spread the word. In fall 2015, Special Collections launched an exhibit of Marginalia to show some of the many ways readers have interacted with texts. Shaheen Bibles, of course, but also self-help books, political treatises, novels, and even a witch hunter's manual, all exhibited evidence of ownership and readership. This is widespread. Classes often use primary source materials in a hands-on laboratory environment, learning nuances of print history and engaging directly with rare materials through document analysis. Frequent collaborators include the Department of English's Misty Anderson and Hilary Havens, as well as others. All disciplines are heartily invited to do this. So a key takeaway is that a digitized rare book is not the definitive copy. There's no such thing. For example, these are two versions of the same edition. On the left is the Peterborough Cathedral copy of Erasmus with a printer-supplied title page and ownership marks of its own. And on the right is our copy with a title page collaged and handwritten by a reader-owner. Both are unique artifacts. So whether a doodle-filled Bible from a 19th century public house in Wales, I'm not kidding, or a mid-20th century scholarly text in the circulating collection of Hodges Library, books with reader-added marks have stories to tell, often from many eras and in many hands. Thank you.